Hello, welcome, and tonight we have this little device here, which is the GameBoy Pocket. And as you can see, it is still with its original screen and playing Super Mario Land 2 here. But the screen is, as usual for the Game Boy, not very good, so to speak. It has bad contrast, it doesn't have any backlight or anything. So we're going to replace it with a backlit modern LCD screen, and it will also get some new buttons, silicone pads inside, and a new custom shell, which I think you will like very much. So I never actually opened up one of these, so this will be slightly interesting, at least for me. And yeah, let's see if we can make it work in the end. Okay, so here's the Game Boy, and this is the custom shell. Well, it has a custom print. We picked Link from the Switch version of Zelda as basically a print that you can put on there. This was done by Retrosix in the UK. Not sponsored in any way. Also, importing this is super expensive. Because of customs and shipping. So this will probably be the only one that I'm gonna do like this. But it will be a very special Game Boy for sure. The Game Boy Pocket has these special tri-wing screws, which we should be able to take out because I have like a bunch of different bits here. I think one of these should fit, so make sure to have one of these sets, which can be had for relatively cheap. Let's see, somewhere there should be the tri-wings. So I will pick out the correct bit and then we'll open it up and see how far we can take this. And there we are. This is the inside of the Game Boy Pocket, and not much here to see on this side. The CPU, as it says, CPU MGB. One other IC I can spot. This looks like a RAM chip, perhaps. Could be RAM, yeah, perhaps. And another chip that I have no clue what it's doing. So like very, very highly integrated, it seems. Not sure what's on the other side. This must be the flex cable for the LCD display, which we'll be keeping, of course, to be able to restore this to original beauty, so to speak. Interesting enough, the cases or the shells do fit perfectly together, so they seem to be coming from the same molds, perhaps, or some that are at least very, very, very compatible. But I guess we'll go with an all-new case because it will be more suitable from the colors, because this one is like the same beige as the original Game Boy, and this is like silver painted gray case. Yeah. All right. And another interesting thing is that inside they are using regular Phillips screws instead of the tri-wing screws, which is interesting. Not sure why they did that. Probably because it's cheaper, and the tri-wing are only so that regular users don't start opening up their Game Boys, but only like when they come in for repairs or something. And back in the 90s, you would have probably gotten the tools from Nintendo. Okay, this comes out more or less in one piece, even though it looks like it's two PCBs, like a yellow and a green one. So we need to open up the levers here on the flex cable, and then it should detach. Yeah, it does. There's one more thing here, one tiny PCB, and it says DC-DC, so this is probably the power supply. And the Game Boy Pocket takes just 2 AAA batteries compared to the, I'm not sure, 4 double A's or something of the original Game Boy. Not quite sure about that, but something like that. Or was it 2 AA? Not quite sure. Definitely less than the Game Gear, but this is even more power efficient, it seems. Okay, this is looking good. I'm just putting this to the side. And here are also the silicone rubbers with the carbon pads for the buttons. And here's the other one. I'm gonna store this as is, I think. So we can just keep it and restore it to former glory if we wanted to. So I'm just gonna close this up again. We also got a new set of screws, which you can use. So we can use the tri-ring screws also to close up the whole thing here. So we have an assortment of things now. First of all, we have the buttons and the pads, which I'm gonna try and install already. I might regret that a little bit later. Oh, the power button, I actually didn't need that because I got a new one. So I'm gonna put that over to the other shell. And then we have the D-pad and the A and B buttons. Not sure if they are the same, probably not. They are keyed differently. Interesting enough, or not? I think they're the same. Those are the same. And there's the power button, which goes right in the top here and slides very nicely. And then the A and B buttons, the pads for those are here. We'll have to attach that slightly differently. So, and the D-pad. The select and start buttons don't have any plastic on them, so that's fine. And then we have the D-pad here. Goes on like this. I think this seems to be working fine. So fresh new silicone pads with the black carbon thingies. This should give us another 20 years of playtime or something like that, hopefully. Then we have the back shell. We will come to that a little bit later. All the magic is in this bag. This is the IPS screen or whatever that is. I think it's an IPS screen, color probably. Okay, and some stuff is falling out here. All right, there's a little flex cable. Let's put this over here. And there are some other things. There are some stickers. There is the screen itself with the PCB. And it's already attached in some fashion to the screen. Screen is looking good, I would say. And we will probably need to break some things here because there's little standoffs, and I think they are for the original screen. And the replacement screen has slightly different dimensions. So this is gonna be interesting. There's two things. Paste this insulating film on the PCB and attach this insulating film to the metal surface on the back of the screen. Yeah, we can do that, I guess. So as you can see, there are, this is the metal surface, as they call it. And it's probably conductive. So I'm just gonna attach this on there, I would say, like so. And this should be large enough for this here. Question is this supposed to go on here? Probably. Makes more sense, doesn't it? But they don't tell me. Well, that's quite interesting. Oh, okay. I already had some lens included. All right, now I have two. And there's some wires because, well, we're gonna need them. We'll have to run those. Okay, we have two lenses, which is a bit of a bummer. But one has, oh, okay, one has the actual Game Boy logo on it and a cutout, and the other doesn't for the light, for the power light. So I think I'm gonna take the one with the Game Boy logo. That's more like it, I would say. Not sure what this is for. This has the cutouts that are visible here. It's probably double-sided tape, I guess. Probably. And the flex cable. Okay, the flex cable probably goes like this. Yeah, I guess so. So I think this was a bad idea to already take this off. We're gonna stick it back on the film here. There is a Wiki article at Retrosix, but they don't tell you everything that's needed. They say that you should be, very carefully be removing this foil here, which I'm not gonna do just yet because I'm not quite sure what to break away here. But I definitely need to remove something. And I think, how is this gonna fit at all? I'm wondering. All right. So this is gonna go in like this. Here we go. So this is the flex cable. And it will need to fold over like that into on this one here. This is a very, very tiny connector here, as you can see. I'm gonna try and see if it's open or how to open it. Oh, yeah, okay, you can just pull the flap open. It's really minuscule. Let's see if we can, let's zoom down a bit. Perhaps you can see this. It looks like this, yeah. All right. So basically what we want to do is we want to attach it like so and fold it down. Okay, this is a bit at an angle, so I'm gonna flip it open once more. So I think now it's fitting nicely. So I'm gonna go ahead and break these standoffs away. Two I already broken off because this can really only fit in like this. It's a very tight fit. And you have to break away all the standoffs. And I think the original standoffs are for the original screen. So yeah, that's of course not the most elegant way of doing that, but it seems that you have to do that. We can also use our snips here. And perhaps you can use a little bit of sanding paper to make it smoother, but I think we're gonna use this double-sided tape anyway. And this should actually then fit. Yes, this will fit. I'm gonna remove the D-pad silicone thingy for the time being, yeah. And we need to remove the sticky tape from the front, where it says you need to do it very carefully as to not damage the screen. And I'm gonna go and say we are installing the lens already for one reason and one reason only, so that we don't get so much dust into this thing. And I do regret having put in these things here already. This, and of course the inner part. Oh, good grief. What about this? I'm gonna store this on this sheet. Maybe we need it. Not quite sure. Yeah, removed. Okay, and then there's nothing sticky anymore. And then we're gonna apply this thing. Yeah, there we go. Okay, I'm gonna leave the protective film on so we don't get any scratches while doing our work here. I think that's fine. Good. So what else do we need? We need this double-sided tape to get the screen to hold on. And there's still some sticky tape inside here, which I'm gonna ignore for this second because I don't have enough fingers. But this is actually looking not too terrible. Application of this is, yeah, slightly tricky. By the way, this cable over here with this little copper sticky tape is a touch button basically, which calls up the on-screen menu from what I read. So you can center the display because it's not super accurately sized for the Game Boy Pocket basically. So you can just move it around a little bit to make it fit. And I'm not sure where this is going because this is just like a pad thingy. Well, who knows? Maybe it's another touch sensor or something. I'm not sure. Yeah, continuing. I will need to attach the cable here. I'm not super sure which way it needs to face though. Okay, I looked it up in the, let me focus again. I looked it up in the wiki and it needs to be like this. So the orange side is the upper side and the traces are on the bottom. So what we need to do now is a little bit of soldering. Here we go. And attach all these wires actually. There's a an article on the Retrosix wiki. Sadly they gave us all the same colors. One cable is a little bit shorter. Not sure which one that should be. So here we got that. All the wires are installed, but we still have to attach them to something useful. I'm gonna place back the D-pad because it will soon be buried below the main PCB. The short wire here is the battery connection, the power basically for the screen. So we will also install the power button again, and we will put the sticker here on top so everything is nice and insulated. I think that is it. Hopefully we will never have to touch this again. And now comes the main PCB, and this will be a load of fun to put this all together basically. I'm gonna go ahead and install some of the screws. Alright, so the power has to run to the third connector on the switch. There are 1, 2, 3 and a fourth one over there, but it's this third one. That's where we have to run this wire. And we can also already try and insert the flex cable. Like so. Yeah, this is looking good, exactly as on the photo. I will put a link to the wiki, but I guess it will be much easier to solder when using this. Okay, this is attached. Should be fine. Okay, next up is the first wire. The first wire is colored blue in their wiki, and the blue wire goes to the B button. And now it's very interesting. We have two little, well, I'm not sure what they are. They might be some MOSFETs or something called DA2 and DA1. And below DA2 you can see two through holes or wires. And the upper one is the A button and the lower one is the B button. So the first wire goes into the lower hole basically. I hope we can solder it from this side, otherwise it will become very, very annoying. Just gonna try and cover the hole with this thing. Yeah, that looks okay. And it's in, and it's attached. I do dislike the way the wires run now. Probably will have to... Next wire should be the white one, I hope. Yes, it's the white one. The white one is the A button wire. It's the same problem, but with the other hole here. Okay, this is definitely nothing that a beginner should try, I think. Okay. And the last is the select button. The select button. Okay, let me try to show that. It's not very easy to see either. So there's a bunch of wires here, and there's this L-shaped constellation of wires. Let me put in a bit more light. And this, the corner of the L basically, is where we need to attach the select button. Okay, so same procedure. And let's take this thing here. And all the wires are attached. So this is Kapton tape, which is polyamide tape. It doesn't conduct. It is very heat stable. You can even use it for protecting stuff while soldering. And it will last for a long time, hopefully. I'm just gonna glue down these wires here and the one here at the bottom, so it's a bit more tidy, and well, they can't wiggle around and do crazy stuff. It should be protected by the, all this stuff should be protected by the case anyway, but I'm not gonna trust this alone, basically. So, like that. Neat and tidy, I hope. Also, take a look. This got caught up here in the slot, which is not a good thing. But first, let's see what happens if I close up this thingy. Well, it does look okay. However, I can't properly close it right now. Because the way the wires run. And then into this gap here. Can you see that? Let's hope. And I'm gonna tape all of this. Yeah, I'm not super happy, but I think this will have to do. This weird little thing at the top needs to go in as well. I wonder what that's for. So I've got it closed up. I had to remove one of the screws that they came with here because they are crap. I'm probably gonna replace all of the screws with the original tri-ring screws because they are so much better. But for now, for testing purposes, I think it's good enough. Let's pop in some batteries and a game. And let's pray and hope it works. Well, at least we have something. We have sound. And it doesn't look very bad at all. It seems to be even properly centered. And not sure if you can see that. I'm gonna zoom down a bit. But it has this dot matrix effect. I think it's higher resolution than that. But yeah, it looks super good. Start button works. I'm gonna start somewhere at the beginning. Turn down the music a bit. Oh, there was a reset. Okay, maybe we have a bit of a problem here. Okay, it's resetting. So something's iffy. I'm suspecting that it's one of the cables. Probably, because that is definitely a bit wonky. So I opened it up, closed it back again, and it works. Not sure what was going on there, but I did replace all the screws with the tri-wing original screws because these here are total crap. They are too short, they are made of Chinesium, too soft, etc., etc. The screen, I like it very much. Now the dot matrix effect is gone, but I think there is some way to enable it. Not sure how. Supposedly, well, I have to look it up. But Super Mario seems to be working fine now. So yeah, the lens is totally prone to fingerprints, but that doesn't matter. You can probably get some kind of protective film or something. But yeah, look at this. This is so much better than the original screen. It's not even funny anymore. Yeah, I'm gonna use this for some time before I give it back to Soul Sister. It's actually her Game Boy Pocket. And yeah, we decided to upgrade it a bit. And I think this was really successful. Oh my god. So that's the IPS screen mod for the Game Boy Pocket and also the case mod, which I like very much. The thing seems to be working fine now. I also figured out that by touching in the upper left corner, the touch sensor is actually used, and you can switch to some color modes, which are, well, more or less useful. And touching and pressing select will toggle the grid effect. I'm not sure if you can see this here, but it looks a bit more like a dot matrix display, basically. Yeah, but the screen is day and night compared to the old one, so I like this very much. We're gonna play with this quite a bit, I think. But that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. Share, like, subscribe, the usual stuff. It immensely helps if you post this video or other videos that you like. On social media, if you want, you can also support us via Patreon, Ko-Fi, PayPal, etc. The links are down in the video description. If you can't, just leave a comment, give a like, and hopefully see you next time.